I think it's really interesting and beautiful, and Sherlock Holmes fans must see this museum and shop.
I like the TV show of Sherlock Holmes, the books of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Okay.
Great, fantastic, enjoying the English sunshine. It's just a lovely day today, isn't it? It definitely doesn't feel like the middle of winter already, but it's okay because you're in the warm, you're in the dry, and we're now back in the late 19th century. Yes, my friend, it is terribly exciting because everything you see here is exactly as it would have been when Sherlock Holmes lived here from 1881 to 1904. This means that all of the objects on display are real Victorian antiques, more than 100 years old. This is where you gasp with amazement or you say, ooh. Come on, go try that. Ooh. Fantastic. Now that's great. My colleagues upstairs are going to think the ghost is back now. This is brilliant. But here in the study we have a number of details which you may remember from the Sherlock Holmes story. So on the back wall we have the letters VR. These stand for Victoria Regina, Queen Victoria. And Sherlock shot, bang bang, these into the wall when he was bored without a case, much to Mrs Hudson's delight. With that said, Sherlock had some more positive pastimes as well. Here on the right hand side we have Sherlock's chemistry set, and here he would conduct experiments in forensic science. Sherlock was a pioneer of forensic methods, using techniques such as fingerprint analysis years before Scotland Yard, the FBI, CSI, and even CSI Miami, or whichever version you prefer. But just next to that we have another of Sherlock's great passions. This is his violin, which he would often play while thinking about the mysteries. Now, does anybody here play a musical instrument? Anybody play violin? Yes. You play violin? Fantastic. Well, in 19th century England, they would think you were the smartest person in the room because they thought that the better you were at music, the more intelligent you ought to be, which makes perfect sense then that both you and Sherlock Holmes are so wonderful at the violin. Now, up here on the fireplace in the silver frame, we have a photograph of another famous musician. This is Irene Adler, and while she was an opera singer, she's better remembered as one of Sherlock Holmes' greatest rivals and one of the only people to ever defeat the great detective. But just as we have a space for Sherlock's rival, we also have a space for his dearest friend. This is Dr. Watson's desk, which is covered in strange and wonderful medical equipment from the late 19th century. And we even have a newspaper from the year in which Holmes and Watson moved to Baker Street. Now, if you'll indulge me, ladies and gentlemen, please do join me in the next room. I'll be very happy to share some highlights of Sherlock's bedroom. So here we are in Sherlock's bedroom, and as this was his personal space, these are all his personal things which tell us a lot about him. So on the back wall we have a collection of photographs of real life criminals and murderers, because What else would you have on your bedroom wall? There are a number of infamous faces here, not least that of Thomas Neil Cream, who was a key suspect in the Jack the Ripper murders. Now, if you're particularly interested in Jack the Ripper, I'm a little bit worried about you, but when you're upstairs in Mrs Hudson's room, have a look out for one of the Liston knives. This is the kind of surgery knife which Jack the Ripper used in his horrendous crimes. But Sherlock Holmes had a number of techniques for dealing with such villains, and one of those was to approach them in disguise. So here we have some 19th century actors' makeup of the kind which Holmes would wear as part of these famous costumes. And it's interesting that he has such a flair for theatricality, because real life actors have had a huge part to play in shaping the way in which we think about Sherlock Holmes. So over here on the bed, in the box on the right hand side, we have the iconic deerstalker cap, which you may recognise from the films, the television programmes and the museum gift shop. But its story with Sherlock Holmes begins much earlier, way back in 1899. This is when the American actor William Gillette became the first person to officially play Sherlock on stage. And the story of how he came to do so is quite interesting. He wrote to Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes' biographer, if you like, and said, "Can I write a Sherlock Holmes play?" Arthur Conan Doyle said no. So Gillette wrote another letter and he said, "Pretty please, can I write a Sherlock Holmes play?" And Arthur Conan Doyle said, "No." And then Gillette had an idea and he said, "What if I give you a lot of money?" And suddenly writing a Sherlock Holmes play seemed like a great idea to Arthur Conan Doyle. So Gillette wrote his play and he starred in it, and it was such a huge success that even to this day, when many actors play the character of Sherlock Holmes, they choose to wear the deerstalker cap in tribute to William Gillette. Now with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll now leave you to browse at your leisure. I know, I'm sorry, my friend, I'm sorry, but you know, there's so much more to see. You've got 2 more floors upstairs to see. You'll see some more of my wonderful friends and colleagues up there. They'll be able to talk you through the exhibits there and answer any questions you have. While you're still here, let me know if you fancy a chat. There's so much here, and every artefact here has got a story to tell. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy your visit today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.